end of the tunnel. It's almost over. America and the world can get back to work. But you don't see those headlines, do you? It's nonstop fear porn. More lockdowns, more statements claiming we may not go back to normal for another 2 years. That one from Bill Gates. The real story is, nobody's going back to normal. Nobody. This virus was the gateway drug to global socialism. The Great Reset. The plan that has been cooked up by the World Economic Forum, who has influential political and economic allies in every country, including the United Nations, and it will use the threat of COVID and climate change to force private businesses and corporations into bending the knee to their government overlords. It's already underway. It is why companies are seemingly going insane and doing things like the NFL or the NBA. Why are they doing that? It's not for China. It's because the Great Reset is coming, and capitalism itself is under attack and will change unless you stand up. Our entire Western society will be forever altered at a fundamental level. How you live your life is about to change, and most people don't know. I've been warning about the Great Reset for almost a year now, and people need to get familiar with it really soon because Joe Biden and John Kerry are very familiar with it. Recently, John Kerry said while sitting in an interview with the World Economic Forum that Joe Biden will accelerate, I'm quoting, the Great Reset with greater intensity than people are expecting. Now, before I'm called a conspiracy theorist, these are his words, not mine. Now, a poll was just done on people's knowledge of the Great Reset, and it tells you everything you need to know, both for what Americans actually want and who the bad guys are, who the people are that are accepting and pushing this. Republicans overwhelmingly know more about the Great Reset than the Democrats. They also have the most criticism of it, but America as a whole does not want to have anything to do with this plan cooked up in Davos, with the World Economic Forum and the UN. The poll is fascinating because it shows how divided we actually are ideologically in this nation. Conservatives don't trust any of these global institutions or even our own government, but the left absolutely trusts them. The government workers, they polled insanely favorably for this, not only to the institutions, but for the Great Reset as a whole. And why wouldn't they? It's the government workers that will have all of the power if it's ever successful. And make no mistake, that's all this is about. The Great Reset is about power for the government, power for institutions, and you, submission, servitude, or pain. So let me give you the numbers here. Here are the raw numbers. 1, are you familiar with the Great Reset movement, a global economic strategy in response to the pandemic that seeks to change the priorities of capitalism? 35% of the general public say yes. 41 say no. 24 aren't sure. 52%, if you look at the crosstabs, 52% of the government workers say they're familiar with the reset. Remember, the average is 35. 52% of government workers are familiar with the Great Reset, the highest of any employment demographic. 70% of government workers who have heard of the Great Reset said they support it. This is the biggest support. So government workers are the most likely to know about it and the most likely to support it. The people who work for a private company, it has 43% support. If you work for the government, the Great Reset has 70%. The ideological group most likely to be familiar with the Great Reset was conservative, 44, moderates, 31, liberals, 23. Of course, they're watching fake news. They're not getting it. They didn't know about Hunter Biden, for the love of Pete. 2, do you strongly favor, somewhat oppose, or strongly oppose the Great Reset? 22% strongly favor, 20% somewhat favor, 10% somewhat oppose, 43% strongly oppose, and 4%, I'm Cuomo. I'm busy killing people. I don't know. 76% of the Republicans say they do not favor the Great Reset. 72% of Democrats say they favor it. 67% of other party officials, party affiliations say they do not favor. So it's only the Democrats. 76 are Republicans against 67 of independents against 72% of Democrats for. So you have the statist class and the Democratic voter. Everyone else is not for this. Do you have a favorable, somewhat unfavorable, or very unfavorable impression of the United Nations? 21%, oh, very favorable. I love them. 34%, somewhat favorable. 19%, somewhat unfavorable. 17%, only 17%, very unfavorable. 9%, I'm busy going to a nursing home with COVID in New York. 66% of government workers have a very favorable or somewhat favorable impression. That's the highest, again, of any group. 77% of respondents who said socialism is better than a free market economic system also had very favorable impression of the UN. How influential should international institutions like the United Nations, World Economic Forum, and International Monetary Fund be in reducing economic inequality in the United States? So how much should the World Economic Forum or the United Nations, how influential should they be in solving inequality in America? 13% very influential. 31% somewhat influential. 18% not very influential. 25% not at all. And 14% again, the ones who say they should be influential in solving all of our inequity problems, 65% government workers. This is the split in America. There's much, much more to this, and you can find it right now in stoppingsocialism.com. Let me give you this one. What should be the highest priority for business in the United States? Earning a profit to benefit shareholders or owners, providing individual customers with high-quality products and services at the lowest prices, providing good benefits and pay to employees, climate change, or using business resources to pursue social justice causes. How do you think this one worked out? 13% said earning a profit to benefit shareholders or owners. 13%. Again, what is the highest priority of business? 44%. Providing individual customers with high-quality products and services at the lowest prices. So you got 57%. 27% say providing good benefits and pay to employees. 6% say climate change. 3% say using business resources to pursue social justice causes. 3% of the population. So why are they all doing it? By the way, in the crosstabs, only 8% of Democrats said climate change. 4% of Democrats said social justice causes. They don't even believe their own bullcrap.
That's interesting. I mean, you could definitely see either one of the first two being the right answer, right? I mean, the technical right answer is earning a profit to benefit shareholders, though that's not how people understand business. Giving quality, experience to their customers is how people...
And charging fair prices. Yeah. Everybody wins. Everybody wins.
But still, 57% in those two buckets, sort of the literal understanding of it and the functional understanding of it is, I mean, it's a majority, but again, in the United States, I don't know that I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's all like, hey, we got a 7-point majority. Okay, sit down. It's halftime. I think they could change the score. This is just really important to show you that the more people get into government, the more disconnected from real life they become. The more government workers we have, the less responsibility anybody takes. You're not going to the DMV and complaining, and you're going to listen to me, and you're going to change your service. You're not doing that to the health department when they come in to close you down. They don't care. They don't care. I want to talk to your boss. They don't care either. They're just getting paid. They do their job. Period. Government workers are not a good step. It's not a step in the right direction. And they are the ones that are coveting this power. They are the most likely by far to say, yes, all of this power from the Great Reset, yes, it should be in the hands of the government. This holiday season,